Welcome back. The Defense Information Systems Agency is taking bids on its new Defense Enclave Services contract for IT consolidation. That contract could be worth up to $11.2 billion. Lauren Williams is a staff writer for FCW. Andrew Eversden is federal IT and cybersecurity reporter at the Federal Times, both of them covering this contract. Welcome, both of you. Lauren, I start with you. What exactly is involved in this contract? What is DISA buying here?
So this contract is a contract vehicle for several different business operations functions. This includes email, video, chat, just anything that we would use on a day-to-day basis for the Fourth Estate or the defense agencies and field activities. So that's pretty much everything outside of the Pentagon, like DISA itself.
Andrew, welcome. It's great to have you on the program. What's the significance of the fact that this is a contract for the Fourth Estate, not for the branches and so on?
Yeah, these are sort of the maybe forgotten agencies that have vital importance, like the Missile Defense Agency, the Defense Logistics Agency. One of the moves here is IT savings, increasing integration for these very important networks and saving money, standardizing IT, and improving cybersecurity.
This becomes the third major contract that the Defense Department is working on an enterprise-wide basis. JEDI and DIOS are both contracts that the two of you have covered. Lauren, what are the lessons that we have seen the department work through on this contract, and what are the lessons potentially they can learn from DIOS and JEDI?
I think one of the interesting things about this particular contract is that they delayed the release of the RFP so that they could do yet another review before releasing it. And I think DoD is taking seriously the controversies that have surrounded JEDI and DIOS, and they want to kind of be able to show their work in the case that there might be future problems.
This contract, that contract review that Lauren referred to, Andrew, went all the way up to the Chief Information Officer of the department, Dana Deasy. Is that your sense as well, that he just wants to make sure I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and that they can avoid kind of the redos, the protests, and so on that they've experienced with the other two?
Yeah, absolutely. On a roundtable with reporters last week, Acting Deputy CIO for Information Enterprise, Daniel Metz, told reporters and was very forceful that this was just a normal review. They were dotting T's, crossing I's, as you said, to avoid some of the issues that they've had with JEDI and the defense or the DIOS contract.
One of the challenges, Lauren, of this contract and potentially avoiding that is they're going again to a single provider. That seems to be the big sticking point, that the companies that don't get the all or nothing deals want to get involved in them somehow. Are you watching that as a potential sticking point for protests once this contract's awarded?
Absolutely. This is a lot of money. $11 billion is a lot of money, and a lot of companies would like a piece of that. And I think what's been shown through JEDI, through DIOS, through Enclave is that DoD really wants continuity of services delivered, which is why they're going for the single provider model. And that's going to ruffle some feathers. So we don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have to wait to see with the protests, but I definitely think that they'll probably come.
Do we have a sense, Lauren, of who the potential bidders might be here? There were the kind of the usual suspects in the JEDI contract and the DIOS contract. Is there a group of people, of companies that we can expect to see as kind of the primary candidates for this contract?
I think you can expect to see the normal players. I mean, again, we're talking about Microsoft Office-like solutions. So any company that can offer that type of suite is going to be probably interested in competing for this contract.
Andrew, one of the department's kind of methods of operation for big weapon systems is to parcel them out. And the theory is that we keep the defense industrial base primed by kind of spreading the work around. Is it reasonable to think that that might be the case here as well, based on what we've seen with the awarding of JEDI and DIOS, at least as far as those award processes have gotten?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the important things in the RFP is this 25% small business sort of requirement for subcontracting. I think that's DISA officials that I've talked to have been very adamant that small businesses are a key part of their mission, and they need as many providers as possible to help them out.
Andrew, what will you follow as this process plays out, as the bids come in and awards happen? Is it the timeline slip, as we've seen with the other two big contracts that we've discussed here, or are there other elements of this that you're going to pay close attention to?
I'm paying attention to protests. This is $11 billion, $1 billion more than the JEDI Cloud had the problems that it's had, and DIO's had a similar issues. So I think that we are very likely to see this contract be protested in the next few months or over the course of the acquisition process.
I'll assume, Lauren, that your item to watch is the number one item to watch is protests. What's number two?
Number two is going to be the cybersecurity aspect. Like Andrew said earlier, a big part of this is to lessen the attack surface, to make the networks more secure by bringing all of these defense agencies and field activities onto one network. So I'll be watching for how they implement the new cybersecurity standards, CMMC, and how that goes forth.
Lauren, Andrew, thanks very much for joining me. Great to have you here.